says, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Faith, Family, and Food at the Parsonage. My name is Tananda. For those of you that do not know me, welcome. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that notification bell for new uploads. Hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an upload, and comment or share and like the video. So today is part 2 of Kingdom Marriage. We're doing 14 Days of Faith on our channel or at the Parsonage. And so God is having us share some things about our life, our family. We'll probably add some food in there at some point. But today is part 2 of Kingdom Marriages. And this is going to be kind of a 2-part video because at this moment my husband is off taking our daughter to school, so he's recording his part of the video and I'm home recording my part of the video. But what we are talking about today is our marriage journey and how we got to the point where we decided to say I do. And excuse the dogs in the background, I can't make them be quiet. So, but yeah, so where do I begin? So let's begin with the scripture from yesterday. It was Deuteronomy 5:18, which says, do not commit adultery. And then the second scripture that God gave me was Deuteronomy 6, verses 5 through 9. And the most important verse that I pulled out of that was, you should love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your strength, and all your heart, all your strength, all your soul. I believe is what it says. I don't have it right here in front of me. But that is what we are continuing on today. And yesterday I kind of gave you the scriptural, spiritual side of it. Today I'm kind of give you the more practical side of it just by telling our testimony and a part of our story. So my husband and I met in 2000. He's going to get me if I get this wrong. I think 16? Possibly. Anyway, one Christmas I came home to visit my parents when I was living in Texas. I came home to visit them, and he was just this guy that showed up at my parents' house like he knew my parents, and I wanted to know who he was. And it turns out he was fixing their Fire Stick on their TV, trying to, make it work for them. And so it was up in their master bedroom, so in their bedroom, so they had me take him up there to show him where the TV was, and so that he could walk me through what he was doing, so that if it ever went out again or whatever, that I could tell them how to fix it, or I can fix it. And so we're up there chit-chatting, just laughing and talking, and that's how we met. And so then after that he left, I believe. And we kind of kept in contact like over the next year, just back and forth. Maybe every couple months we'll text each other, hey friend, how are you, whatever. And so the following year I came home again, and we had kind of started texting a little bit more seriously, I would say. And he came to visit me the following year at my parents' house. And that was kind of the moment where it was like, okay, so I think we are interested in one another more than we thought. Finding out what we like, what, if we want children, what our future was like. So just deciding if we wanted to pursue a relationship. It was a little bit more difficult because him and my mom, or his mom and my mom, are best friends. So it was like, do we really want to risk getting into a relationship where things could go wrong, or we don't want to jeopardize the family dynamic and how things are already going. So those were some of the things that we took into consideration when we started dating. And so we decided that it was worth the risk. We had a lot of interests that were alike, and I could tell that he was loyal, a loyal individual, dedicated, and that he would not be the type of person that would run around on me, even though we would be, talking long distance. And excuse the fire alarm, we got to get new batteries for that. So once we decided that we were more serious about one another, he came to visit me in Texas. We spent the weekend together, and after that it was, history. We became exclusive and decided that we were going to be dating only each other. And even though it was long distance, it didn't seem as hard as you would think. I mean, it was a little hard, I would say, because he wasn't able to just pop up when he wanted to, and I wasn't able to just see him. But it did allow us time to get to know one another and like kind of talk about the hard things. Now, one of the things that did come up in the conversation was marriage, and because we decided that even though I was divorced, I wanted to be remarried. I always wanted to be married and have a house and a family to take care of. And then he shared that he wanted to get married too, but his statement was he wanted to get married someday. So, I just kind of took that and ran with it. I didn't ask questions, which I should have, but I didn't. And so after that, I ended up actually moving back to Virginia. He came and got me, packed me up, and moving back to Virginia. And I moved into my own apartment. He was still living off on his own, or living with his parents. And so I was living in my own apartment. I got my own space because I was like, well, we're just dating, so we're not going to live together, trying to still be biblical. And so even though I was living in my apartment, he was still coming over, and he would spend, 2 to 3 nights a week at the apartment. And so after about 6 or 7 months of that, it was like, okay, well, let's just come on and move in. We decided that he was going to move in. So we split the bills and kind of went from there. So we're living together. I got back into foster care, so now we have a foster child. So basically it's a makeshift family. And so that apartment was not big enough for all three of us. And so we decided to, we had the conversation that, okay, so it's just going to be me and you. We're going to be together. And I'm thinking at some point we're going to get married. So let's just be wise, stop renting this little apartment and just go ahead and invest in a house. And so we decided I found a house for us. We moved into the house, and I would say for another year or so we dated, again, living in sin. It was him and I and the child, and we just kind of went about life. And people that did not know, that we were not married, just assumed that we were married because we were living as if we were married. So we were in church. We started going to our church, One City Church in Chesapeake. He liked it, I liked it, and so we started going there, which is kind of where our relationship started to grow with Christ. And I'll let him tell his story about that. So for me, I began to grow more in Christ, and to the point as to where I felt uncomfortable with how we were living. And I kind of talked to him about it, and we kind of discussed when do you think we'll get married? And his was someday. And so I was like, in my mind, someday, like I thought about what my mom used to say, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? And so I was like, okay, well, God is working on me, he's working on my heart, and I don't like living like this. And so I decided to go on a fast. I went on it might have been a 3-day fast, maybe. I don't remember what it was. I'm sure it's in the journal somewhere. Went on a fast, and I was asking God, to heal me of needing someone to fill the void that only he can fill. And I wanted to know that I would be okay if we decided that he decided that he didn't want to get married and he wanted to be single for the rest of his life, and I wanted to make sure that I would be okay with that decision, being by myself and being single. And so after that fast, it had to be more than a 3-day fast, because it was a lot I was asking God for and waiting on answers for. And so once God gave me a peace about it, where I felt like if we decided to break up, and if we no, that was later. So anyway, basically God was like, you want a husband, so you need to move this man out of your husband's place. And so, or yeah, move his stuff out of your husband's spot in bed. Because if we're sleeping in the same bed as husband and wives should be, but we're still single, that means that the husband that I'm waiting for, he's taking up space. So God told me this when I had went to bed. It was late one night, and Darius works till 11, 12 o'clock at night. And so when God told me that, I immediately got up. I packed up all his stuff from his side of the bed, everything, y'all, into a brown box, his clothes, everything from off the side of the bed, and put it in a box, set it outside the room door, and I closed the door, and I got back in bed. Y'all, I was so nervous because I'm like, this dude gonna come home and he gonna be like, what is going on? But he came home and he saw his stuff. I'm sure he was like, what did I do? What happened? And he ended up moving into the back room. All right, sorry about that. That was my trainer, coach, partner, gym partner calling to say she was on her way so she can work us out. So let me do this quickly. So anywho, put his stuff out, and during that time, so he moved into his game room and set up a bed in there. No, he was sleeping on the sofa that was in there. And I said to him, like about a week or so after he had moved out of the bedroom, I said to him, well, you know, how long do you think you'll be sleeping on the sofa? And that was kind of my way of asking, you know, how long do you think that either, you know, you'll be ready to commit to marriage, or, you know, just like, can I get a timeline? That was my way of asking. However, it didn't work. And so I just kept praying about it. And when God gave me a piece of knowing that even if he decides that he didn't want to get married, that I would be okay, I was okay. And we just kind of lived in the house as roommates. And we were still raising a child because he was still here. Still raising a child, and we just kind of went about our day-to-day business. I think eventually he did move a bed in there because it had been a few weeks of us, you know, going on and on about our day. And I will say that even when our family came over, this was a situation that was between him and I. I mean, not that we were trying to hide it or anything like that, but just they didn't even know that we weren't like cohabitating. I'll say that. Cohabitating in the sense of like in a marital status, and that he was living in the back room. They just, you know, assumed that, you know, that's his man cave, that's where he was at. Like when they would come over, they'd be like, well, where he at? Like, he in his room, you know. And we just kind of left it at that. And so when he finally decided to propose, it definitely was a shock out of nowhere, because I'd already gotten to the point where I was like, well, I guess we're not getting married, and then we just gonna leave it at that. And I wouldn't be disrespectful and, you know, have any other guys over if I decided that I wanted to date again. At this point, I was just like, you know what, I'm good being single. We hadn't really kind of established whether or not we were going to stay together, if we were partying, or what the case may be. So I was just chilling, you know, going to work, raising a child, chilling. We was good. And so when he decided to propose, it was one night when he came home from work. I was already ready for bed. And so it was a shock for me because I did not see it happening. I just felt like he was stubborn and set in his ways, and he was going to get married when he decided he was going to get married, but I wasn't waiting around for that. Obviously, God had other plans. And so we accelerated the process from December to February of the following year, just because we were already living in the same house. We've already, you know, in close quarters as, you know, almost man and wife, and we didn't want to slip back into that, oh, now we're engaged, you know, and slip back into fornication, because we ain't said I do, so it would still be fornication if we were involving ourselves in sexual relations. And so we spoke with the pastor. We went through marriage counseling, which was a must. I say, in order to establish your kingdom marriage, go through marriage counseling, because it will bring out things that you did not discuss, you didn't think about discussing when you were dating, especially if you're young and you've never been married before. Going through it this time was imperative, and it was actually a requirement of the pastor if he was going to marry us. And my husband felt comfortable with him And so we decided that he would be the one to marry us. And so going through the marriage counseling was amazing. We found out some things about each other and ourselves that, had us praying and had us thinking about our future together long term. And once we went through marriage counseling, we decided to do a surprise wedding. So we set it up as an engagement party. But that's how our marriage came to be. I am interested to see what he has to say and his side of the story, because there's two sides or three sides. Mine's, his, and the truth. And so hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will insert his right here.
Hello. My name is Darius, and we're back at Faith, Family, and Food at the Parsonage. I'm currently driving. I just dropped one of the kids off at school. She want me to talk about a little bit of my side. Not everything. That's for another video. So you might hear this again. But yeah, basically from when we got moved into the house where we currently stay at. So like we said before, more so I blurred it out. Going over these bumps, so don't bring them to mind. So now we moved into the house. In a nutshell, we was just living like we was married, but we was actually boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, we shackled up, sexual activity, all that stuff. We were going to church, praising, everything, praying together, everything. But we weren't living right for God. And one day, I came home from work. My stuff was sitting in front of the door, in front of the bedroom door. When I say I panicked, like, what did I do? I know I ain't did nothing, but you know how in your mind you think you did something, like something in your mind went, okay, you did something. So she come in, we just sit down and talk. She was like, God told me to do this, and we got to do it right. When I say, part of me was like, that's it? Like I wanted to run around the room, doing that little stuff. Because first of all, I didn't do anything that I even thought myself was doing. But it was like, it's another challenge. And God was like, yeah, this is what is going to test your relationship. So if y'all going to do it right, do it right. So for 6 months, I am in a twin size bed. Yeah, it was a twin. In my room. Matter of fact, even before that, I slept on a couch. I slept on a couch in my room for about 2 months. Then I upgraded to the twin size bed. By myself, in my own house. Like, the kids looking like they don't know what's going on. But deep down, I needed that to get closer to God. Like, it actually helped. And best believe it's the hardest thing to do, especially when you're so used to your old ways. So it was the hardest thing to do. But I don't know how, honestly, God had to get us through that. Sleeping on a twin size bed and a couch. And I'm not the smallest guy. It's rough. You so used to sleeping beside someone, so it's rough. some days were rougher than others. But got closer spiritually. And I'll never forget it. Like, I'm not one to do certain things. Like, I'm not gonna propose on Christmas, and like certain days you'll expect people to do stuff on. Not saying it's wrong, but that's just me. So honestly, I didn't know when I was gonna propose. But God just said one day, just go ahead and do it. And I just did it. At night, she had pajama clothes on, and I just went for it. I had her close her eyes, and I just went for it. And God just had me prepared for whatever response that I got. Honestly, I won't prepare for the no. I understood the no if that would have came. But God was with me that night. And she said yes. But you always say, man, I want to be ready financially, everything. You want all your ducks in order. You want everything in place. But I had a friend say, you'll never know when you're ready. Like, if you wait until everything is pretty much in place, it might be too late. So, like, Christ got us through it. Like, if you don't believe that God is real, just talk to him. He had me to propose. Honestly, because I always said I wanted to get married. But I didn't know how to, honestly. Because you see the little stuff and it's like, man, that's what I want to do. But I won't live it right. Honestly. I was just living for self, not living for Christ. And if I don't have that perfect balance, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And he just gave me the strength to do it. And do I regret it? No. Because I'm not perfect. He didn't create us to be perfect. But it's a lovely thing, man. It's a lovely thing. We are going to the day. We are going into. We got 2 years down. Lifetime to go. Me and her about to become unbenefited because she took a picture of me while I was passed out before I went to work yesterday. Just let her know, since she's not in the car. But man, God has a funny way of working on you. So Just continue to let God work on you and work through your marriages, work through everything. If y'all had issues, let God work on both of y'all to work together. That'll make it that much more easy. You're gonna go through stuff. Like me and my wife, went through stuff already. But get God to help you work it out, and you'll be fine. I don't forget. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. But and y'all be easy. And I will talk to y'all. And I will be in some of these videos and show my appearance a little more. Yeah. Y'all be good. Might see y'all in the next video. I don't know. I see you when I see you.
Thank you for joining us. Come back tomorrow for day 4 of the 14 Days of Journey. Don't miss an episode. Click the notification bell, subscribe, share, comment, like the video, share it with all of your friends and family so that we can grow our family to 100 subscribers. That is my goal. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Remember that faith will always see you through no matter what situation you're going through. That is why we are even on this journey, to increase our faith in God and not in ourselves. So thank you guys. We love you, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.